Welcome to Zero. I'm Paul Martin. Historically, Saskatchewan has had a poor track record when it comes to personal injuries, whether at home or at work. Now we're getting much better, much better actually, largely because our poor performance in years gone by sparked a concerted effort to address this challenge. Mission Zero is the embodiment of that effort. In this program, we will look at where we've been and where we're going in the pursuit of eliminating all injuries by meeting those who have been victims of needless pain and suffering, as well as those who are pioneers in trying to change the way Saskatchewan people think about their own health and safety.
I'll never forget the horror of lying there wondering if I was alive or dead.
John Cross is a well-known Saskatchewan businessman. Founder of Philom Bios, he was a pioneer in the development of biological products for the farming community, but he's also a survivor. He was seriously injured while working on a routine job around his house, cleaning the eaves troughs.
So I went up and with the hose and the strong nozzle, cleaned out all the eaves troughs, and I was coming down. As I came down, the ladder just slipped right horizontally, and I came crashing down here on this wooden deck.
For many of us, an injury is one of those things that happens to someone else. Such was the case for John Cross. When he was young, his brother was working in a munitions factory in England and saw a man burned to death by a red-hot steel ingot. But then it happened to him in his first job as a chemical engineer in a brewery in Ontario.
It was a 3,000-gallon tank, so we filled it with water. We put all I think it was barley at this time, put the barley in, and then turned the steam on to boil it. And things were going well, and then suddenly though, and I was standing there, this mash boiled over out of the manhole cover on the tank and started flowing off into the room. It's a huge room, but this boiling mash spread onto the floor. What to do? The other guys were over there in the corner. What am I going to do? Well, I decided, okay, the only way, I walked through this burning mash to turn off the steam. Oh, saved the day? Yes. It could have been an absolute disaster. Burnt my feet big time. So sometimes I look back, what happened? Well, I didn't properly check that the manhole cover was tight. Or was the steam turned on too quickly? A whole bunch of questions which came to me afterwards because I wasn't vigilant.
Dangerous situations in the workplace have always been with us. They can be mitigated, but maybe not always eliminated. The challenge, says Cross, is for each of us to remain conscious of the dangers around us and to take preventative measures. He calls it vigilance.
Vigilance. I should have gone through all the steps, security and safety steps, of turning the steam on when we began with that 3,000-gallon vessel. We checked it all. I should have done that with the foreman who was on site. Didn't do it. Don't ask me why. Forgetful. It's not that I didn't care. No, but I was neglectful. And the consequences they could have been much worse. If you want to see my pretty feet, I'll show you the scars, but I recovered. What a gift that is. It could have been so much worse. It's no point praying once a year. You got to pray every day, right? So safety, it's not good every time your company has a safety meeting. No, it's got to be every single day, all through the day.
While he suffered a significant injury in the workplace, he found out the hard way that injuries are not restricted to job sites. Incidents and mishaps can occur at home just as easily. His arm was severely injured as a result of crashing into the deck when a ladder fell over after cleaning the eaves trough.
I landed here. My son pulled half of my elbow bone out of the wooden deck the following day. And I was lying there, and it's true, you know, what they say about your life flashing before you. And I can remember so well, am I alive or not? The step ladder. Oh, how simple is that? There's an example of not being vigilant. And it wasn't just an unhappy day falling off the ladder. The next day was our wedding anniversary. And we were supposed to go to Cuba, spend time with our daughter who was working there. Well, of course, we couldn't go to Cuba. I could have fallen and become a quadriplegic, or it could have been even death. I was so fortunate. So that joy of surviving really said, John, you're a jerk. You knew what to do, but you didn't do it. And that's been in my mind ever since, as you can imagine. I don't, just falling through the air. I can feel it, see it now, and then it'll plunk. And I landed on this elbow, smashed it to bits.
With those vivid memories of painful injuries in both the workplace and at home, Cross reminds us once again that the key is vigilance, being aware of your surroundings and the potential problems all around us, and not just at work.
Because we don't have formal safety programs in our households, do we? Unlike at work. So even more so to be aware, teach your kids early on, like even playing with knives. Don't run with, you remember what your mother used to say? Don't run with those scissors. Ancient wisdom. Do kids run with scissors? Yeah, they do, and it's very dangerous. It'll poke your eye out. I think this vigilance has to be at home as well as at work. I can speak from experience, so that's pretty powerful. But when you don't have an experience in your household, you have to be even more persuasive. And you don't want to have an experience in your household, but just keep talking about it. Keep talking about it.
There's a lesson for all of us in his misfortune. Accidents are preventable, and they can happen at home, at work, anywhere. They don't just happen to someone else, Cross reminds us, and he offers one last observation. Maybe something good can come of his pain.
I'm a living example of stupidity. It happens, and it happened at home, but just imagine if I had that lack of vigilance in a business, in a laboratory setting, or in a manufacturing setting. The consequences could have been so much more disastrous. And so I talked about that. Don't be like John. Please don't don't do what John did. John forgot. Don't do it. So so can we get is there value and benefit from such an accident? Yes, if we relay it to others as an example of not what to be or not what to do. You have a choice to live in danger, or you can reduce that danger by opening up your mind and your emotions to hit your safety officer here who's telling you, here's a better way of doing it, a safer way of doing it. Are you going to gamble your life, knowingly gamble your life and the well-being of your family by being so, expletive deleted, stubborn? Listen to your safety officer. Everyone will gain. It's not rocket. This is not rocket science, guys. Get with the program.
Zero is usually a bad thing, right? Like when you're talking pocket money or a team score. But what if zero meant something else? What if zero was a good thing? What if the mission was zero? Zero injuries, zero fatalities, zero suffering. Make zero your mission. A message from Safe Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan has long held an unenviable title. We rank among the provinces with the highest accident rates in the country. It's not a source of pride, but it did spark something. A concerted effort to improve our record. It started in the business community with companies stepping up to the plate to publicly declare they were going to do something about it in their own workplaces. We saw the emergence of organizations such as WorkSafe and Safe Sask, who conceived of the idea of Mission Zero as a rallying point, a goal to eliminate preventable injuries in the workplace and in our homes. Well, the importance of this message became even more clear recently with the attention being given to impaired driving. The loss of life in preventable circumstances is now front and center in life in this province. For businesses, the most visible mechanism for declaring war on workplace injuries is the Health and Safety Leadership Charter. Hundreds of CEOs have now signed their names to the charter, pledging that their company will pursue the goal of Mission Zero, the elimination of workplace injuries. And one of those companies is Warner Industries, a diversified transportation company that sells and rents commercial trucks and buses, operates large tow trucks, and has a division that provides shuttle services for school kids as well as healthcare workers. Founder Graham Warner sat down with us to talk about Mission Zero and how his company has committed itself to safety at every level.
Nobody wants to make that phone call to a spouse saying, I'm sorry, your spouse is not coming home tonight because they were killed.
He says the message was driven home for him when another business owner shared his own experience with such a loss.
I was actually at a social function sitting beside a very successful businessman who owns a very well-known construction company, and during dinner he confessed or shared with me that they had gone through a death of an employee a number of years ago, and this man leading this very tough, rugged company, hundreds of employees, broke down in tears as he shared that experience. And then he shared with me how it almost wiped out everything he had worked for on the legalities of the tragedy after. And it really shook me up.
Taking it to heart, Warner began to direct company resources towards safety programs, personal protection equipment, and company policies to build what he calls a no-brainer, a culture of safety.
Our profits have gone up since we've invested in safety, and typically you don't invest money to lose money. So safety is definitely an investment. Anybody who thinks otherwise is not going to be in business for long.
One of the champions of the Warner Industries program is safety coordinator Patrick Norman, who is responsible for ensuring the company's safety management system is embraced in all 7 of the company's locations. To him, it's more than a job, it's a passion.
We're not having to call families indicating that someone's been injured at work or worse. So I can sleep good at night knowing that these best practices and policies are in place to ensure that we are doing our best to protect our workers from injuries in the workplace.
Jordan Pettigrew is Warner Industries Corporate Services Manager. Like others in the firm's management team, he is totally committed to workplace safety and the Mission Zero target.
The Mission Zero initiative is something very important to us. It's a core culture. Our employees make our business. Without them, we're nothing. So to keep them safe and keep them going home every day, that's the most important thing for us.
Roger Pettigrew is Warner's general manager. He's been friends with the company founder Graham Warner since they started elementary school. And as you'd expect of lifelong friends, they share the same values, including a passion for workplace safety. But now they're pushing it beyond the shop floor.
It's an alignment of culture of who we are as people and leaders in our company, as far as then the culture of the Safe Saskatchewan and Mission Zero. No ifs, ands, or buts, every single day when we work with, today we'd say 300 people that call for Warner Industries home, and of course the extension of all of their families. It's never a day that Graham and I would ever want to take a phone call from somebody saying that somebody was injured in one of our facilities and we had to place a call to a family member, go to the hospital, anything like that. So as far as the core culture, as far as who we are and family men that we are, it is just a no-brainer that we need to have a very safe, healthy workplace environment.
The company has managed to avoid any major incidents in the workplace and is investing to ensure it stays that way. But for Warner Industries, safety has now become part of the corporate fabric.
You look at the initiative and you look at the statistical data that says, oh my goodness, Saskatchewan isn't performing well. I don't want to be a part of that. And I want to do what we can in our business and the kind of message that we can send as leaders in the industry. It's no different than why we signed the charter with these guys. And it's no different why we became a strategic partner. Because if we can go out there and we can make a difference in our employees' lives, and we can go into each one of the other strategic partners' facilities and look at the things that they're doing and they're investing in to ensure that their employees are being taken care of and they're working safely, I want that. We want that as a company. That is the core culture.
I didn't get into this business to hurt anybody or to see anybody killed. And I think business owners tend to pour their lives into their business. And so to risk that by not having a safe culture is just stupid. And so the light went on for me, and we really cranked it up by hiring a safety coordinator just to get the message across. And we had some fun with it. His goals, because we think every employee should have clear goals, but we had some fun with it, and it was keep Graham out of jail.
Because when we go home, we transport 6,200 children every single day in our organization. It's one of the things we're very proud of, and we do it safely every single day. Very proud of that. And every night about that 5:30, 5:45, both Graham and I exhale. It's like, whew, another successful day. 6,200 children got safely to and from work, the most valuable commodity in the world, children, and we did it again safely. We're very proud of that every day. So across our network, when we close the doors at the end of the day, very proud guys.
Zero is usually a bad thing, right? Like when you're talking pocket money or a team score. But what if zero meant something else? What if zero was a good thing? What if the mission was zero? Zero injuries, zero fatalities, zero suffering. Make zero your mission. A message from Safe Saskatchewan.
Well, welcome back. And joining us now in studio is Carol Sowers. She is the head of Human Resources and Safety Management with Access Communications. They're a signatory to the Health and Leadership Charter and really a big supporter of the Mission Zero initiative. Carol, welcome, and great to have you join us today.
Thank you.
So, can you tell us how it came to be that Access embraced the Mission Zero concept? I mean, what was behind it? What caused the organization to, basically commit itself to Mission Zero and to all of the work that you're doing with it?
Well, we really wanted to improve our safety culture. So Mission Zero, we decided we would embed that into everything that we do with our customers and our employees. So Mission Zero's really provided us with almost like a safety brand that we can use in everything that we do. So we use it, it's on our trucks, it's in our communications for safety. We even have the logo pasted on office doors and windows. So it's really helped us to improve our safety awareness and as well as our culture.
That visibility, I'm intrigued by that. I mean, you're really making it visible inside and outside the organization.
Yes.
You're pasting it up there and saying, hey, look at us, we really do endorse this.
Yes, it's everywhere. Anywhere I can put it, I will put that logo.
One of the things that we're talking to a lot of business people with this show, and your firm is interesting in sort of its diversity. You've got everything from office workers and people in admin to folks in the field, installers, these kinds of things. I mean, that's a very diverse and wide range of kind of job descriptions. And I'm guessing that they don't all face the same sorts of levels of what you would consider to be safe or unsafe environments. I'm curious how you put that all together, how you make something so almost an umbrella when underneath it the employee base is so different.
I guess we don't really differentiate on an injury, whether it happens at home or it happens at work. So it doesn't matter to us if you are a technician in the field or if you're an office worker working in our offices. The same injury that happens in the field could happen in the office or happen at home. So it doesn't matter to us. All of our prevention tips that we provide to our employees are meant for everyday life. It improves our safety injury rate both at work and in the province of Saskatchewan.
So there is some universality to this message. It's
yes.
It's not just for those in, a dangerous work environment. It hits everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
And I suppose even if I'm an office worker, when I go home and I grab the power tools, I mean, I'm kind of in that environment anyway, aren't I? And
yes. You fall off a ladder at home or at work.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. And you know, I think that's one of the points we're trying to drive home in this with this program, is we are tracking people who have been injured at home as well as injured in the workplace, and say, you know, what experiences did you get? How do you sort of learn from that? And hopefully we can teach others around the province about the dangers that lurk around the corner, and it's really about just getting prepared, and we can avoid those things. Now, this organization is a signatory to the Leadership Charter, the Health and Safety Leadership Charter. When the company decided to sign that, you know, what was your thinking there? This is a very public declaration. The CEO stands or sits next to other CEOs around the province and publicly declares, I support Mission Zero and I'll sign my name to it. How important is it that you signed that and that there is this public declaration? Does it mean anything corporately?
Yeah, corporately for sure. It has really ended up being the foundation and our very first important step in improving our safety culture. That was the number one priority, was that safety was going to be first, number one. And signing that signatory allows us now to refer back to it with almost everything that we do. So we are continually referring back as being a signatory.
In your conversations with your employee base in the organization, did they notice that the CEO signed it, and you know, does it mean something to them? Have you heard any feedback along that line?
Yeah. When we have our staff meetings, they're full staff meetings, and they're broadcast across all of the province in our offices. And when we signed that was put into our, you know, the PowerPoint presentation for the staff, that we were a signatory, what that meant, and really started that awareness of this is going to be an organizational priority.
Now, you've taken this a step further with doing some, in collaboration with a team at the University of Regina. They're doing research around injuries in Saskatchewan, and you guys have stepped up to that. Can you talk a little about that?
We participated for the first time last year, and I did meet with the head of the management development. I met with him and went over our survey results. I just wanted to understand what they meant and where our gaps lie, and that helps us to build strategies of whether or not there's a difference between rural Saskatchewan and our head office. And if there's any gaps there, what are they? What do we need to put in place? And then we can work with our managers to help improve those areas. So now this year we will do the survey again, and we'll be able to benchmark ourselves against last year. So it's great that we can benchmark against all these other companies, but the fact that we can benchmark on ourselves and then communicate that to our employees, that to me is key in the awareness of where we were at and where we're going.
So you'll be able to chart your progress,
yes,
one way or the other, whether you're moving forward or backing up. At least you'll have some more empirical information to work with. Now, this work that you're doing with the university, they provide this free of charge, I understand, and that it's available to businesses, any business that's a signatory. Would you recommend it? Like, I mean, are you finding that there is useful information in this?
Yes, I did. I found it very useful, especially after having gone through the results and then understanding exactly what the scores meant and what some of the strategies we could be putting in place. So yeah, for me, it has been a significant addition to our entire safety program.
Would you encourage others to, say, grab a hold of it?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, listen, this organization has committed significant resources to the whole Mission Zero effort. I mean, this very television program that we're sitting on today is just testament to that Access is committing significant resources to advancing the message of Mission Zero. You probably get requests for a lot of things to support, and you chose this one, and you're pouring quite a lot of resources into it. What was the thought process there?
Well, Access has been a strategic partner for over 6 years supporting the Mission Zero initiative. The Access Communications Community Channel is a powerful medium through television to connect with audiences about our community. And our commitment to improving safety awareness and giving back to our communities is the main reason in getting involved in this project. Our ongoing commitment through this series is an important message about safety for our employees and to the province of Saskatchewan.
Carol, we've run out of time. it just went by so quickly. Thank you for this and your insights on how an organization can embrace Mission Zero and actually use it internally as a tool for improving performance and relationships between employees and employers. So thank you for that insight.
Thank you.
My guest has been Carol Sauer. She is the head of Human Resources and Safety Management with Access Communications. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.